नमस्सर्वेभ्यः अद्य शुभरविवासरे सर्वेषां स्वागतं। तो दशम पाठस्य अनुवर्तनम् अद्य प्रार्थनया प्रारम्भं कुर्मः। गुरुवन्दनया तदनन्तरं सरस्वती वन्दनया च। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। हरिः ओम तत्सत्। So yesterday we looked at the kriya padas from lakara perspective. We understood the 10/11 lakaras. Now there is another important 10 number involved with verbs which relates to the ganas or the groups to which the dhatus belong. 1 minute. Okay, so the groups to which dhatus belong. So we are going to study that. So hyaha asmabhihi kriyapadanam vishaye lakara vyavastha का अस्ति इति दृष्टम्। अस्माभिः दृष्टा इति वक्तव्यं, व्यवस्था इति। अस्तु, तो अद्य तु अद्यापि क्रियापदानां विषये एव, परन्तु धातूनां गणव्यवस्था किम् इति का इति ज्ञातुं प्रभवामः। तो 10 classes of verb roots, the 10 ganas. Okay, you know that pat, likh, etc. that are expressive of actions are dhatus, are verb roots. In Sanskrit, there are as many as 2000 primary verb roots. See, this primary is very important. This is the primary set. And as many as, it's like the prayaha, what we say. There are some pathas with a few less, some pathas with about that much primary verb roots. Countless number of word forms can be derived with these dhatus by adding a variety of prepositions and affixes. Okay, so prepositions refers to upasargas, like pratigacchati, agacchati. They are all forms with prepositions. And then even you can have more than one, pratyaya that kind of stacking is possible. So really innumerable forms can be created with even just one dhatu, let alone 2000. Okay, the verb roots are classified into 10 ganas. So conjugational classes. Okay, technical title, because we for verbs we call the affix addition as conjugation, so we can call it conjugational classes, hinting that depending on the class of the dhatu, the conjugational aspect varies. Okay, that's why we use the term conjugational classes. That's a scientific entitlement. According to the pattern, the verbal forms follow. Okay, so some dhatus follow certain patterns, others other patterns. So depending on the pattern, they are grouped. They are known as first, second, etc. and the 10th gana. In English, we don't have any specific title, but we use this 1 through 10. But more importantly, there is actually an identification within the Sanskrit world about how to name them, also by remembering one prototype dhatu. That is a very, very smart way, because we know how to do bhu declension, we know everything about that gana, how to do ad declension. So if we learn 10 critical dhatus with their declensions, which is not like too difficult perhaps, if we started from childhood, of course. Okay, then we know pretty much the gana vyavastha. Okay, so on the basis of the first verb root of the respective ganas, the 10 ganas are recognized as bvadihi, adadihi, etc. So bhu adihi, bvadihi. So there is a what you call yen, yen sandhi. Okay, then ad adihi, there is a simple samyoga. So like this names are there. Okay, you can see the list later. Example, the first verb root of the first gana is bhu, the most important dhatu also, the as and bhu. Okay, so are kind of critical dhatus, and therefore the gana is Bvadihi, bvadihi, b, v, a, bva, bvadihi. Gana, which has bhu at the beginning, is the meaning of bvadihi. Because ganaha is pullinga, so bvadihi ganaha. Okay. So the lingatva of a title usually takes the linga of whatever it describes generally. In standalone, we call it bvadihi because it's ganaha. A question? Somebody has a question. Lata Variye, do you have a question?
No, sir. No, I just now joined.
Oh, welcome. Okay. Okay. So, the first verb root of the second gana is ad. Therefore, it is adadihi. When I say ad, I highlight. In South, we have the practice of highlighting the halanta with a little like that. So, technically it is ad. That's all, ad. But we kind of say ad because we love our Dravida Bhasha where we say adu, idu types. Therefore, it is adadihi. So, gana which has ad at the beginning, etc. Here is the table containing the 10 ganas, the first verb root of each of them and its form in Ratlakara Prathama Purusha Ekavachanam. In the next slide, they are going to show us that. Okay, we will go there later. But first, let us look at this interesting table to understand. Okay, name of the Gana, the first verb root, which is critical in naming it, and the present tense third person singular. That is the 1.1 third person in English, but we call it Prathama Purushana, Prathama Purusha Ekavachana form, which is our prototype always to remember, because sometimes remembering the dhatu is more difficult for us beginners than its lat Prathama Ekavachana form. So, Prathama Ganaha Vadihi atva Vadiganaha iti namna Bhudhatuna arapsyate Bhudhatuna arabhati arabhate kimapi syat tatra Bhavati iti lat Prathamaikavachana rupam Bhavati. It is. Okay. Huh. Or some places you can take the sense of it happens. Slight variation of meaning. Then second gana adadihi. Ad is the dhatu. Ad is like similar to eating. Okay. That sense is there. Okay. So ati. See the difference in the form. There is a double pressing of the takara, etc. And dakara has modified to takara ati, like that. So adu has become atu and then ti. So little subtle variations are there in this group. That's why it is in a different gana. Then it is not adati. For example, in bhu, bhavati, there is a akara invocation, right? Bhu and then ati, bhu plus a, bhava, some additional at comes, and so, but pretty straightforward here. Ad plus the atti. Pretty straightforward here, except the dakara harshening for chartva. It is pretty straightforward. Okay, so there is a clear variation between them. Okay, then juhotyadi gana. Okay, juhoti iti. Basically, here you see the Vyakaranas. Here they named it Bhu Adi. Here they named it Ad Adi. Here they didn't call it Hu Adi. It could have been Hwadigana, right? Hu Adi Hwadigana, like Bu Adi Bvadigana. But they chose the Lat form for naming it because it's a little tough. So they went to help us. Juhotyadigana, Juhoti being the Lat form. See, you can see even Vyakaranas are liking either the Dhatu form or its Lat Pratamaika Vachana form as its prototype. So it becomes Juhotyadigana. Okay, so there is a subtle technique variation, but pretty much still the hu dhatu is involved. Okay, so juhoti. Now, if you notice in this gana, the dhatu is hu, and there is an additional ju that has enjoined. So there is some kind of prefixing involved with certain modifications in this gana. Okay, so you can notice that. Okay, so that's the subtlety of this gana. And then fourth one is divadi. Here again back to dhatu name div and etc. So led by div. Okay, so divadi gana divyati. So here if you see there is a yakara coming into the picture. Okay, if it div was in bhugana, it would have been divati. If it was in adgana, it would have been divti. If I can say that. Okay, it would have been some jadivati or something. I mean, etc. etc. But instead, it is divyati with the dirgha of the hrisva ikara and a yakara coming into the picture in intermediate before the tiyanta. So you can notice its quality difference, divyati. So anybody who belongs to this gana has these kind of properties. Then fifth gana, swadihi. So sui, so su, they have taken su and adihi and made it swadhihi. They have dropped the itakshara. So su plus adihi, swadhihi, like that they have taken. You can say they have done a end sandhi of the su plus adihi, dropping the itakshara. Okay. So because there is a itakshara ngai here. Okay. So swadi ganaha are, one example is sunoti. So sui, ngai drops out as a itakshara. So su, and then there is a nakara agama here. So there is something distinct about this guy. Okay, you will see that nu is the vikarana pratyaya for this. That's why noti comes for this gana, fifth gana. So you can so far notice subtle quality difference coming from the dhatu to its lat form. It gives us already some learning as to what kind of prakriya is happening at a practical level. Next, tudadihi. So the column got shifted here. Tud, read tudu as the dhatu name under this column. Tud, and then the meaning being to. Okay, they have also given the meaning, so you can guys take a look later. Okay, then tudati. Okay, so somebody tormenting somebody else, tudati. All right, then rud adi, rud to hinder. See, avarodhana, we know in our mother tongues this is avarodhana, to block something. Okay, to plead, to block, these kind of things are there in avarodhana, in south at least. So that is the rudh dhatu. Okay, so runaddi, see how different the form, runaddi, nakara. So runaddi, so it has its own specific property. Okay, of course, with Tudadi, we didn't see something explosive. Sixth Gana seemed to be fairly straightforward, somewhat sounded like Bhavati. Let us check later what is the distinct, how it is distinct from first Gana. Okay, all right. So Runadi, maybe Tudu Dhatu doesn't bring it out. Maybe another Dhatu could have been a better prototype. Anyway, it's okay. So Runadi. Then Tan Adihi, Tan Dhatu, to extend. Okay, to stretch something or to grow also sense is there. So sometimes we use it in the sense of to increase something is also taken in this. So tanoti. Okay, tanoti. So okara is there. So that's the interesting thing in this. Okay, and then kriyadi. So krayana, krayana, that is this thing. Okay, vikrayana, krayana, all those things. So kri dhatu, again itaksharangai. So kri, and then krinati, again nakara has come into the picture here. Okay, similar to what we saw in runaddi, but here there is a dirganati. So there is some variation. Okay, then churadi gana, another one important gana, churadi gana, chur, to steal. Choraha comes as a kridanta derivative of this dhatu, chur. Yaha chorayati saha choraha. So some kind of prakriya is involved in deriving that. Okay, maybe like ghai pratyaya, like yaha ramate saha ramaha, like that same way maybe some prakriya is involved there. So chorayati, so steals. Okay, it's not chorati, it is not churati, nothing. Okay, chorayati. So again it has got some yakara invocation similar to what we saw in another gana, but it has other variant properties in this o formation, etc., which is why it has its own distinct gana. So some ganas will share some properties of other ganas but have something distinct, so that's why they are classified separately. So like this 10 ganas are formed. Out of these 4 are dominant. We are going to quickly see that in my next slide. Now before I proceed, there are some as we grow in this world of Sanskritam, there are some useful references for us. Of course, the best online reference is the ashtadhyayi.com Dhatu section for us, which pretty much teaches us everything. But since it is just tabulation of the forms, that is having some limited use for us for referring to things. But if you want to learn a little bit more about the thing, these books are also good to keep in our collection. This Dhatu Rupa Nandini of our own Janardana Hegedevarya of Samskrita Bharati, who is a Mahan Pandita, one of the founders of Samskrita Bharati. We owe a lot to him. and his two other partners who gave birth to Samskrita Bharati. So this Mahodaya, he continues to work very hard daily to produce wonderful works for us students. Okay, so uh, yeah. So and then there is the famous Ratnakara Pandeya. I think it's Ratnakara. I'm not sure. Anyway, one of the Pandeyas. So this Rupa Chandrika is also a famous work which gives dhatu forms and all that. Okay, and it also gives noun forms as part of it. So not just dhatus. And then there is of course also the wonderful effort of Vyoma Samskrita Patashala, which also has a online flip book, as well as I think perhaps there is a printed version available. I'm not sure. So this is Dhatu Rupa Parichayaha. So it is a flip book. Okay. So maybe it's available as a printed book, but it's definitely available as an online flip book. So yeah. So plenty resources for us to help us with. Hmm. I have these things with me. Of course, this is for every one of us. These three are there in physical form available for quick reference. None of them are very expensive. Okay. Any
Got
questions with
this?
respect to what we have learned so far?
No, I wanted to ask, are these books available online?
If you go to samskritbharati.in, there is a bookstore there. From there,
Okay.
you can order these Samskrit Bharati books. You can order online by paying online, and they will post it to you. Okay, so that's
Okay.
available. If you are in a city like Bengaluru or Delhi or some Chennai like this, Samskrit Bharati has physical offices in these places where they maintain the library, and you can purchase there and avoid the delay or even avoid the extra cost involved in postal charges, etc. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So then it will be also nice to visit them. They will be encouraged if you physically visit them. Then this
One,
Rupa Chandrika is from Chaukhamba. Chaukhamba is a famous publisher for our ancient dharmic granthas and Vyakarana granthas, etc. So, if you take one or two critical public publishers who have done great service to our Samskriti and Samskrita, they are Chaukhamba Press and also Geeta Press, Gorakhpur. So these they are working very hard to continue to republish some of their works by making better editions, etc. Worth visiting. You should be able to search for Chaukhamba in internet and find their online bookstore and purchase there also. Okay, they're also available. There is one portal that supports Dharmic Granthas. I'm forgetting its name. India something. They at, as one portal they bring out these books for all of us. We can procure for a slight premium. They will be able to source from these guys and ship it to you. Okay, they are also good. Yeah.
One doubt,
Huh, huh.
So this Chantrika is available on
this
Amazon also.
verb root
Amazon also is
within
available.
I have purchased
Amazon
it from
is
there.
huh?
I know that. I have
But
purchased it from there. It's a small book size,
better to go
very
to
fine.
Chaukamba's portal or Geeta Press portal and procure directly also. Nothing wrong.
Yes.
Huh? Yeah. They will get some slightly better margin because Amazon will eat away some money. Yeah. Yeah. Some Bagini was trying to ask, but her internet was bad. Can you
yeah,
ask again, Bagini?
Mahodaya, that first verb root within bracket sense it is given, no, shown in the heading. So I don't understand what is that sense and the first verb root.
Trying to see where is sense written.
In the top of
Second
the
column.
column, second
Second
column.
column.
Oh, sense. Oh, sense is in the sense of meaning.
Acha,
See, they
means.
don't want to use the word meaning because just bhu doesn't convey the entire thing. So that's why this to is kind of used, but it will eventually become to be with bhavati, with various tenses and all that. So the sense or the hint of the meaning of the verb is given in brackets. That's what they are saying. Okay.
Mahodaya,
Huh.
I have a small doubt.
Uh-huh.
There are so many verbs,
Huh.
and are they classified in this 10 ganas or
Every dhatu has a gana. Correct.
So like
Some
bacha,
dhatus, interestingly, some dhatus, because they take multiple forms, are appearing in different ganas also
I mean, they
simultaneously.
are classified under these 10 ganas.
Yes, yes. So you visit ashtadhyayi.com. I will show you also some more tables I have to show you guys. Okay? Yeah, just wait for the details that are coming up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now we continue reading from the book. Okay, there are three constituents in pathati. Okay, how to make this go away? Okay, it went away. There are three constituents in pathati. Path plus a plus ti. Okay, so they are now analyzing what is why the ganas are there. They are trying to show through pathati. Okay, that's what is the intent of this portion of the text. Dhatuhu, that is path, verb root. Which is the called the Vikarana pratyaya. This is the new thing they are introducing. Okay, Vikarana pratyaya. And ti is actually ting pratyaya, but it's also called akhyat. Another name for that is akhyata pratyaya. Okay, the thing pratyaya, that is of the interest, point of interest. Okay, but it takes on a new title called akhyata pratyaya. Okay, which is conjugational affix. So there is a additional hidden pratyaya according to the dhatu gana that gets deployed. Okay, this is gana specific. So vikarana pratyaya is gana specific. That's what they're trying to teach us here. Okay, the first constituent, that is or viz, dhatu, denotes the action, and the second constituent, that is vikarana pratyaya, expresses the particular class the verb root belongs to. So the class of the verb comes out in the vikarana pratyaya that is attached for the prakriya, for generating the verb. Generally, each gana has a different vikarana pratyaya. As you know, vikarana, you see, it is a vikara. You know vikara, no? To change the form of something is called vikara. Of course, in standalone, vikara means something not great looking, something like that we take. But actually, in its original form in Sanskritam, vikara means to change the akara is vikara. That's all. Nothing. You could come with something more beautiful with vikara. Okay, so vikarana is that which does the vikara or the variation. Okay, that's what vikarana pratyaya. By recognizing which, by recognizing the vikarana pratyaya, we know the gana. That's what they're saying. The third constituent, which is the akhyata pratyaya, conveys the mood or tense, lakara, purusha, vachana, everything that goes with it. Okay, so you know there is a 2 by 2 table in each lakara based on purusha and vachana, and there are many tables based on lakara. So that's why the three vectors, three influencers of the forms is lakara, purusha, vachana, and there is now a new learning called vikarana pratyaya, which is also an influencer based on the dhatus gana. Then we also know the thing pratyaya that we use varies depending on the dhatus paditva. So whether it is parasmaipadi, atmanepadi, ubhayapadi, influences what thing pratyayas we can use them legally. Okay, so these are all the colors we have learned about kriyapadas in a very analytical way. Okay, we have learned it. To know accurately the class to which a verb root belongs, a thorough study of vikarana pratyayas along with constant practice is required. However, at present, the above brief introduction suffices. Let us get this much summary knowledge of what is this world of dhatus and be happy. But what I have as usually done, I am, troubling you with a little more. So here I have listed. Okay. So Vadigana, Adadigana, Juhotyadigana, as we saw the 10 ganas, one that's dhatu, prototype dhatu. Just a minute. So this much was already shown by them in their table. What they had not added in the table, they didn't want to make it too technical. was what was the Vikarana pratyaya. That is of interest. So here I listed the final transformed version of the Vikarana pratyaya, not the Paninian entitlement for that. The resultant uh, interfix, let us give it a new name, interfix. Okay, transformative interfix to Vikarana pratyaya. So these are the thing. There is a there is nothing, there is a nothing, but there is a dvitva happening. There is an abhyasa happening to the dhatus first letter. Then ya, no, which comes as nu but becomes no. Then okay, na, u, na, aya. So you can see that everything is different, right? So there is something unique about every gana in the end. So that's what is the important thing. Okay, of course, it does look like Tudadi and Dwadi have some similarity, but let us see why they are distinct maybe later. As we go to Praudavastha, maybe we can understand that, appreciate that better. Okay, finally, see Tudu, Tudati, Bhu, Bhavati. So, doesn't seem like seems to be the, but there are something else involved, I'm sure. Okay, we will see. Now what I have here is a slightly, for those who want little bit more statistics, the same thing is extended a little bit. Okay, here in the Vikarana Pratyaya column, I have the Paninian title and the resultant Pratyaya, Vikarana Pratyaya also. This we already saw in the previous table, yeah, etc. But here this is the original Paninian title, Shap, Shapaha, Luk, Shapaha, Shlu, Shyan, Shnu, Sha, Shnam, U, Shna, Shap. So Panini has his own specific titles. Okay, but though it is also Shap here, there is a additional Lakshana called Swarte Nich, which is why Aya comes, not just A. Okay, whereas we saw Tudadi, see there it is Shapu and here it is Sha. So because Panini gave two different titles, some Prakriya change is involved in how it works. Okay. Though it is not so far apparent to us, but yeah. Okay. So here there is something interesting further. The first important thing is there are multiple pathas. So here this is the standard patha and there is actually a alternate patha. Okay. So here in the standard patha we have 1930. Okay. Navashata नवशताधिक एकसहस्र धातवः, something like that we say. Okay, so नवत्रिंशत् also we can say. So नवत्रिंशत् अधिक एकसहस्रम, something like that also. नवशतत्रिंशत्. There are many ways to read this, so we'll leave it alone. So then see there is another patha with 13 more dhatus, 1943. There are a few others. So this Gana had lot of increase in this Patha. Okay. See 997 through 100. So you can see Vadi Gana is dominant. Half the dhatus come from it. Half the dhatus, in fact, you can say more than half. More than half the dhatus come from the Vadi Gana. So it's a very critical Gana. Then next important Gana, next three important ganas. Actually, Churadi is the next important gana. See 410. That means 1/4, literally, somewhat like 1/4 comes from it. So between them, they cover 70-75% of the dhatus. Then there are two more ganas that dominate. Divadi Gana and Tudadi Gana roughly equally 140, 157. So another 300. So we have added 1000 plus 1400 plus 1000 plus another 300. So 1700 dhatus out of 1900 odd, or let's call it 2000. So huge number come from just four ganas: Vadi, Divadi, Tudadi, Churadi. Okay, so it's not so hurting us so in equally spreading. So there, because of dominance, it's easy enough to learn a few and be more knowledgeable about them. Then other ganas do contribute. So you can see, for example, this Tanadi Gana is just merely having 10 dhatus in it. Okay, in the two patas that we are looking at. Okay, so it's not massive numbers in some of these ganas. Okay. So yeah, so in addition to the Vikarana pratyaya, there is a lakshana involved in the Gana Vyavastha, that Dvitva lakshana in the Juhotyadi Gana, and the Swarte nich yakara, ikara becomes yakara in the end, is the other thing that we saw in Churadi Gana, like that. Okay. Right. So this is just all extra. You just for us to appreciate it and know what lies ahead as we progress in this world. Okay. So now we have, that's the summary of the Gana Vyavastha. Are there any questions related to Gana Vyavastha learnings we had so far? Yes, Vasuki Varya, what's your question? Your hand is up, so maybe you got muted again, Bagini.
Okay, no, my question was whether we have a center in Mumbai where I can buy the books. It was at that time.
I personally don't know, Vasuki Varya. Very good question. Actually, in the last few batches, I am having so many students from Mumbai. Um, I know that there is a very active leader of Samskrita Bharati there. I don't know he has set up a library, physical library for local students there. Unfortunately, I don't have any answer to that.
Otherwise, Bangalore, no, sir?
Bangalore
Bangalore
is
is
there, Bagini. Bangalore is the birthplace of Samskrita
okay.
Bharati. It
Okay.
has a very good library and multi-floored building with lot of activities going on,
Okay.
etc. We
Fair
call
enough,
it
sir.
the Temple of Samskritam.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but online available. Samskritabharati.in you go.
Yeah.
All the Samskrita Bharati books are available online. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
And for some small postage extra, you get them quickly. Okay, thank you. So we'll move forward. So now the other grammar learning of our 10th lesson. Okay, what is the other grammar learning? Saptami Vibhakti. Okay, so we have so far covered the first 6. So now we are going to Saptami Vibhakti. Locative uh, pratyaya, locative case. Yeah. So sentences with words in locative case. So let's see if somebody can help us with this. हाँ धन्या वर्ये धन्यापि
Yes, sir.
हाँ Bagini, just read about 10 sentences and then we will see summary learning. Just start off with this. Slowly read the Sanskritam followed by the English meaning and take a pause and continue on. Yeah.
Saptami Vibhaktihi, sentences with words in the locative case. Kamalani kasare santi, lotuses are in the lake. Pushpani latayam vikasanti, flowers bloom in creeper. Parnani bhumyam patanti, leaves fall on the ground. Chhatraha kakshyasu upavishanti, students sit in classrooms. Bhaktihi shambhau bhavatu, let devotion be there in Shambhu. Vahanani margeshu sancharanti, vehicles move on the roads. Mayuraha girishu nrityanti, peacocks dance on the hills. Tarunaha nadyam taranti, youths swim in the river. Samudre maktikani bhavanti, pearls are in ocean. Balikaha kridangane kridanti, girls play in the playground.
Excellent, Bagini. Well read. So, sorry, just I'll mute you back. Thanks for muting yourself. So, what is the highlight here? Kasare, latayam, bhumyam, kakshyasu, shambhau, margeshu, girishu, nadyam, samudre, kridangane. So, they have shown a variety, sample some of them have ekaranta, some of them yam like strilinga shabdas. Okay, bhumi bhumyam, lata latayam, kasarah kasare. Okay, so kakshya strilinga bahuvachana, kakshyam singular, kakshyasu bahuvachana, shambhuhu ukaranta pullinga, shambhau gurau, like this. Okay, then margah, so marge, and then bahuvachana margeshu, then girihi girishu. Okay, nadi nadyam strilinga again, samudraha samudre pullinga, kridanganah kridangane. So subtle variations we are seeing here, some in eka, some in bahu so far. Other qualitative, sorry, just a minute. Bhagini, are you all right? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. I mean, I hope you are okay. Huh. Okay, Bhagini. So, another very important variation, even through the first 10 sentences we are seeing, is the quality of when this Saptami Vibhakti have been used. Some are clear physical locations. There is no doubt at all. For example, Kamalani Kasare Santi. Kasaraha Kasare. So, no problem. Okay, so sorry, kasaraha kasare ekavachana. So kasara, the lake is a location for kamala. So similarly, lata is a location for pushpa. There is some quality difference. Kasara is like the adhara of kamala, and kamala is an independent entity, whereas pushpa is part of the lata. So it's almost like growing on the lata, but still you use saptami in the sense. Okay, so we don't say lata yaha pushpani, though you can say that it is the pushpa of latas only, but we say in the lata. So that's why latayam. Okay, in the creeper. Some places they haven't used the prepositions everywhere. In the creeper we have to read, like here. Okay, anyway. So Parnani Bhumyam Patanti. See here there is no mother's daughter relationship that exists between Lata and Pushpa. So here is just falling onto the earth. Okay. So that's also a location onto it. So Kakshya, class. So Kakshyasu Chatraha Upavishanti, another physical location. But here you see the sudden quality difference. Bhaktihi Shambhau Bhavatu. This is a very distinct, important learning for us in how to use Saptami. Whenever we place some bhakti or karuna or any bhava, when we place one of our bhavas in another, our love, okay, uh, we don't want it, but say our hate, okay, so then that also, that person upon whom we place that bhavana also takes saptami. Shambhau bhavatu. Mama bhaktihi shambhau asti. Mama pritihi mama putriam asti. Like that. Okay. So this kind of important saptami. Personification in saptami. Okay. Important learning for us. Okay. So like it's we should read it as may our devotion be placed in Shambhu. Be placed in Shambhu is how I would read it as a literal translation to bring out this locative nature of Shambhu. Okay, be there in Shambhu. Okay, this is also kind of they have brought it in. Okay, then this is again back to normal Saptami. Vahanani margeshu sancharanti, girishu nrityanti, location marga, giri, nadi. Okay, see then bhavan. They have also varied the dhatus just to show. Okay, bhavanti. So the pearls are there in the ocean, like these kind of things. So kridangane, kridanti, balikaha. These are all fine. So far we have roughly seen two variants, I can say. One is like maybe three. Some are mother like adharas, some are just new adharas for something, and some are personification adharas. Okay, seen that. Okay, so let's pick someone else to continue the reading. Neelima Divekar Varye.
Yes.
11 through 20 is your turn, Bhagini.
Okay. Gajaha aranye sancharanti. Elephants move in the forest. Naryaha sabhayam gayanti. Women sing in the assembly. Kalpataravaha Amaravatyaam vartante. Kalpavrukshas are in Amravati. Karyalayaha nagarishu bhavanti. Offices are in cities. Aham sayankale gachami. I go
Just a
in the
pause.
evening.
Yeah. So sorry to butt in a little
Yes.
early there. So far in Bagini is Aranye, Sabhayam, Amaravatyam, Nagarishu, physical locations. Some are places, some are generic entities like Aranya, okay, Sabha, etc. And some are specific places like Amaravati, Nagari again generic. But specific or generic, they are no problem in identifying them as physical locations, spaces. Okay, whereas here Sayankala is not a space, it is a time. So for the first time in the 15th sentence, we have got a hint that time is also like a location. Okay, it is location in time. So that's why Saptami Bhava is there in referring to some event occurring at some time. We say Sayankale. Okay, in the evening. You see, in English also there is that in, at sense, upon, in, at. Those are all Saptami senses in English, right? So Sayankale. So some new learning. So time. Whenever something happens at a certain time, then that time reference goes into Saptami. Continue, Bhagini.
Rushayaha Bharatadeshe asan. Rishis were living in Bharata. Viramaha Bhanuvasare bhavati. Holiday is on Sunday.
Again, another time reference, Bhanu Vasare. Just like Sayankale, now this is another type of time element which we identify. Again, this is a little generic. Repeated occurrence of Bhanu Vasara is there. So, repeated occurrence of Sayankala is there. Not a specific time, a generic time reference, but very much a time reference. Continue, Bhagini.
Saha asande upavishati. He sits in a chair. Matrubhumau pritihi bhavatu. Let there be love for the motherland.
This is another personification. So Matrubhumi is a personification of Mother Earth or Earth. Mother Earth already is personification. So same way Bhakti Deve, what was the Shambhav Bhavatu, same sense. Matrubhumau Pritihi Bhavatu. The order is different, that's all. Okay. So the meaning is literally similar. Another personified location of Bhumi as a Mata. Lovely. Continue, Bhagini.
Mahabharate anekaha kataha vidyante. There are many stories in the Mahabharata.
See, now there is a book or a kriti being identified as a location of other things, right? So that's also slightly distinct from the quality of locations we have seen. So we have to identify these kind of prototypes for us. So Mahabharate, so Ramayane, like that. Okay. Thanks, Bhagini.
Yeah.
Well read. Where are you located in India, Bhagini?
Pune.
Pune. Oh, very good.
Pune.
The cultural capital of Maharashtra. Thank you. All Mumbai guys will be up in arms, but please take it as a compliment. Not in a
In
competition.
Pune, there is one shop of Sanskrit Bharati.
There is, huh?
Yes.
Bhagini, actually, if you can, if you have a contact there, you can check who is in Mumbai, whether they maintain a certain. I'm sure then Mumbai has.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I will check and post
And then
in
if
the
you
our
can,
group.
our group unfortunately is not open. If you post it to
Oh,
me, I
okay.
will forward it to group.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes.
I have been advised not to make it an open group because some activities happen which Samskrita Bharati doesn't want to encourage. That's all. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh, okay. So Bhagini read all these things. Let me select the next person. We need someone from the men section to help us. So I will call upon Venkatesh Paivarya, who has so nicely titled himself in Sanskritam. Venkateshwarya. Can you help us by reading, sir? Are you in okay position to do that? Oh, as usual, some problem. I think last time also he had some microphone headset versus issue. Let's leave it alone. Let's leave him alone. I think he had indicated he may not be in a position. So, Monica Varye.
Yes, Mahoday.
Mahodaye. So 21 onwards. The 21. So 5 sentences you get, Bagini.
Okay. व्याकरणे मम मम आसक्तिः अस्ति. I am interested in grammar. ज्येष् ज्येष्ठेषु आदरं दर्शय. Show respect to elders. दरिद्रेषु प्रीतिः भवतु. Have compassion for the poor. दुर्वय दुर्वयसने रुचिः
No.
मास्तु.
Slowly. Look at it.
दुर्वयसने
Durvyasane.
दुर्व्यसने
Hmm.
दुर्व्यसने रुचिः मास्तु. Have no interest in bad habits.
Hmm.
समाज सेवायां प्रवृत्तिः भवतु. Indulge in social work serving the society.
Society. Fantastic. So you can see Bagini is fighting hard to avoid this autohalant that she's so used to when she looks at these sentences, because Hindi world that's what happens. But she fought off it mostly, except with Samaj Sevayam. It is Samaja Sevayam in Sanskritam. Okay, and so no problem, Bagini. That's why I invite different people to practice here so that we can use it as a forum to improve our diction also. Nothing wrong. Okay, so see here, the interest is a bhava that I place in Vyakarana. So this is also a bhava saptami. Vyakarane mama asaktihi asti. Similar to bhaktihi, etc. Okay, it's not a physical thing. If you notice, asakti is a bhava. Okay, asaktihi vyakarane asti. Whereas katha is a physical thing, though it's like a little bit like, okay, call it a segment of the book, right? So, but asakti is not a physical thing, it is a bhava. Okay, so another bhava example, bhava saptami or something you can call it, I don't know. Then adaraha, again adaram darshaya, karma position it has taken because it is a indicative lot. Please show respect to the elders. Please, I am adding, of course, darshaya. Okay, that's what show. Okay, so jeshteshu bahuvachana. Okay, so elders, upon elders, to elders. So upon elders, you can of course go to two elders, but here it is more in the sense of upon the elders. Okay, in the elders. Okay, or place your respect in the elders is another way we can show darshaya also. Okay, demonstrate, we can say demonstrate your respect upon the elders. All right. Daridreshu pritihi, another bhava saptami. Daridreshu pritihi bhavatu, again with lot. Then durvyasane ruchihi mastu, again another bhava saptami. Ruchi is another type of bhava. May there not be your taste in bad habits, like that. Then samaja sevayam pravrittihi bhavatu, again another bhava saptami. Pravritti, okay, inclination, okay. That's what they called indulge, but indulge in the sense of in may your inclination to do something be placed upon samaja seva, not other things like that. Very nice. Good examples Samskrit Bharati has compiled. They have not jumped into another important Saptami Prayoga, which we have seen here and there, so-called Sati Saptami. There is going to be some learning of that in more detail later, I think. Okay, because it's a little higher subject they have not introduced. Let's see what they introduce next, if at all they do that. Any doubts with any of these sentences in anyone? What we read?
Sir,
Bagini.
vidyante,
Huh.
what verb is that? Which is the
With
original?
with it
Okay.
is called.
Okay.
So with jnane, I think. Okay,
Hmm.
something like that. Okay, vidyante. I
Okay.
mean, here we take it in the sense of they exist, but in the sense of they are there as teachables that are there in that book. That sense is there a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe there are two meanings to Vidu in addition to Jnana, maybe about being, simply being there, for available for perception, that sense.
Uh, I had a doubt.
Yes, Bhagini.
Ruchi, na, it is used
Hmm.
in Chaturthi also, na?
But this ruchi is not in its original dhatu forms, right? It is now in its kridanta form. Okay, yeah. Durvasane ruchihi oh, you are saying could have been durvyasanayam. Durvyasana iti strilingam kila. तो दुर्व्यसनः इति पुल्लिङ्गे स्यात् तर्हि दुर्व्यसने इति तृतीयायाम् सप्तम्याम् अस्ति चतुर्थ्यां कथं भवति रामेण रामाभ्यां रामहि रामाय दुर्व्यसनाय रुचिः मास्तु probably may not be incorrect because durvyasana is related to ruch dhatu but saptami is allowed looks like yeah.
Okay. Some feelings are also, we use Chaturthi for some feelings like jealous, envy, and cope.
Especially if that is in dhatu form, the bhavana is in dhatu forms like ruchyate, that rochate, those forms. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Good observation. Okay. So what now they have done is a section where they just introduce, because they used akarantas, ukarantas, ikarantas, they have this prototype table. As usual, like I have told you guys, these kinds of bits and pieces learning is not as useful as really full 7/3 recital abhyasa. So maybe you guys are doing that, but the saptami forms are here. So let us quickly walk through that. So अकारांत पुल्लिंग राम शब्द रामे रामयोः रामेषु. See the last word we always end up like stotra ending like that. For me all these Rama Shabda and all are like stotras. we are anyway praying to Rama all the time, so no problem. So अकारांत पुल्लिंग राम शब्द रामे रामयोः रामेषु. आकारांत स्त्रीलिंग सीता शब्द सीतायां सीतयोः ह्रस्व सीतयोः सीतासु. देन अकारांत नपुंसकलिंग वन शब्द वने वनयोः वनेषु रामवत्येव, नथिंग स्पेसिफिक, रामवत्येव. देन इकारांत पुल्लिंग हरि शब्द हरौ हर्योः हरिषु. देन मति इकारांत स्त्रीलिंग ह्रस्व ह्रस्व इकारांत स्त्रीलिंग मति शब्दः मत्यां मत्योः मतिषु मत्यां. So yam, सीतायां, some quite a close cousin of Sita. Okay. Then दधि इकारांत नपुंसकलिंग दधि शब्दः दध्नि दध्नोः दधिषु दध्नि. So quite different, very unique. दध्नि दध्नोः दधिषु. Actually matyam, matau is also there as far as I recall. Matau matyam, something like that. But anyway, leave it alone. So then ukaranta pullinga guru shabdah gurau gurvoho gurushu, important one. Then dhenu ukaranta strilinga dhenu shabdah dhenvam dhenvoho dhenushu, quite unique. Dhenvam dhenvoho dhenushu, no yakara heard. Okay. Instead of that there is a vakara agama. So dhenvam, dhenu plus am, then yand sandhi, so vam. Okay, something like that. Then madhu, madhuni, quite different. Ukaranta napumsakalinga madhu shabda, just like dhadi shabda, even madhu shabda has its own uniqueness. Madhuni, not madhuni or something like the dadni type. So madhuni, madhunoho, madhushu. Okay. Then tad तस्मिन् तयोः तेषु तस्यां तयोः तासु. तस्मिन् तयोः तेषु is there for napumsaka and pulling also, no problem. Then tasyam is distinct. So tasyam tayoho tasu. So eka and bahu have variation, right? Tasyam tasu here, tasmin teshu there. Now with this we can say kaha shabda also. Kasmin kayoho keshu, kasyam kayoho kasu, like that. And then of course etasmin, etayoho, eteshu, variations. Then asmad and yushmad, the two masters of madhyama purusha and uttama purusha, how can we forget them, right? So aham shabda and tvam shabda. So mayi avayoho asmasu. So mayi प्रीतिः वर्तते. मयि भवतः कृते भवत्सु प्रीतिः वर्तते. Both are in saptami there. Or mama pritihi bhavatsu vartate, mai vishwasaha vartate. In me there is vishwasa without indicating any other target. Okay, my own vishwasa exists in me. I am confident like that. Okay, then tvayi, in you. Tvayi yuvayoho yushmasu. Is there a question?
Yes, Mahoday.
Bhagini.
Mahoday, about these sarvanam shabdah, like the ones which end in the, like dakarant, pulling, etad shabd. So, but they begin with like shah, eto, ete, sah. I am
Quite
not
distinct. Quite
understand
distinct.
how
There are a
to.
lot of Panini. Panini has special rules for sarvanamas. Okay. So sarvanamas have very distinct treatment in how their declensions happen. Okay. So in Panini also sarvanama, he gives a sarvanama sanya, and those with sarvanama sanya follow different formulas of his process than normal namapadas. Okay. That's why you will see quite distinct. That's why we have to practice them separately.
Okay.
That is what you just take it that they don't decline like normal dakarantas because they're sarvanamas, they have their own variations. Okay.
Okay.
So if you can see Kim Shabda, which didn't have any dakaranta, has quite a close prototype behavior to Tad Shabda, right? Kaha kauke, saha taute. But at least everywhere it is ka. There, like you said, it is taking all kinds of variations, especially in the Prathama Vibhakti and all that. Yeah. Yeah, sarvanamas are, that's why they always have a special placement. Even in Sanskrit Bharati, they are trying to show, see, look, be careful. They don't decline like other guys. So practice them separately. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Good point. So what Bhagini has indicated, you can't club them and just shrug off sarvanamas. They are a class of their own. Okay. Some rules pertaining. Is there another question, Bhagini? Yes.
No, I just said thank you.
Oh, welcome, Bhagini. No need to thank me at all. We have to just thank Samskrita Bharati and Samskrita Mata. Some rules pertaining to the locative case. Okay, good. Now there, as usual, Samskrita Bharati gives us a lot of examples and then shows us the variation. I have been little intrusive in pulling a few points right then and there because it's hot right then and there to indicate the variation. You appreciate better. But now they have nicely summarized for us. The answer to the question where, kutra on the verb will be in the locative case. There sometimes is karma position also possible, but anyway. So kutra gacchati with gam dhatu, for example. Griham gacchati. We say don't say grihe gacchati. So not all answers for kutra come in saptami, but it's okay. So on the verb will be in locative case. Udaharanam kamalani kasare santi. Kutra santi kasare santi. Locative case. Okay, good. So this is the physical location aspect. Next, number 2, the answer indicating time in response to the question when, kada on the verb will be in the locative case. Why they keep saying on the verb? Kada bhavishyati, kada karoti will be there, na? Verb without verb, what is a question? That's why they are hinting everything. Verb is like what we call the hub of a wheel. Remember, we had some pictures we studied early on. Hub of a wheel with various fingers and other nodes. Yeah, will be in the locative case. Udaharanam aham sayankale gacchami. Aham kada gacchami. Aham sayankale gacchami. Generic. Gamishyami could have been there, but gacchami is being used as a generally I go in the evening, right? That's what. So kada sayankale, locative case expressing time. So locative case expressing location, locative case expressing time. Number 3, The word expressing something on which one sits, stands, etc. will be in locative case. Okay. So little bit subtle variation they have brought out as other than a normal location. So this is a little bit different than this santi type, bhavati types things. So that's why they have brought it in. Okay. Udaharanam kate upavishati. Kutra upavishati bhavan? Aham kate upavishami. Or asande upavishami. Like that. Locative case has to be used for the word that denotes a person or a thing for whom or for which liking, devotion, respect, etc. Sanskrit Bharati has not delved into negative stuff. They have kept it to the positive list, but we know there can be a negative. For every positive, there is a negative, right? For like, there is a dislike. For devotion, there is utter contempt. Then for respect, there is disrespect. So whole world is full of this yin and yangs. I don't know that is the correct thing. Blacks and whites. Okay, are shown. Udaharanam jeshte shraddha bhavatu. Jeshte adarah bhavatu. This kind of thing. Nice. So one thing extra which we did not notice was this upaveshana, tisht dhatu, upavish dhatu application also takes the saptami bhava. That's fine. Then another one thing that is left, no, having learned some uses, like I told you, they haven't taught you everything about saptami. Believe me, there is some big subject in saptami called sati saptami. That's a focus in the next levels. Okay, you will learn it. Then sambodhana vibhakti is the one that is left alone, and it is specifically important for ekavachana because there is a variation in declension for that. Okay, so in the preceding lesson, the 7 cases were discussed. Apart from these 7 cases, there is sambodhana vibhakti, vocative case of address also. The vocative case is only a variation of the nominative case, which is prathama vibhakti, and not an independent case. Okay, so that's why we still call it 7/3 plus 1 we call it for the sambodhana ekavachana. We use the vocative case to address a person. Udaharanartham, Hey Rama, like that. Of course, with a it's a normal Rama, not our God Rama. Hey Rama, like that. Boho, hey, aye, aye, many things are available there. Okay, are used to indicate that is a vocative addressing. Boho Mukunda, atra pashya. Hey Govinda, kutra gacchasi, like this thing. So there is also a beautiful Meera photo to help us because she is always praying. So Hey Govinda, Hey Gopal, Radha Vallabha Madana Gopal, they all are in Sambodhana there. Okay. So aye, ayi, are, re, and others are used for addressing. Manya, Mahodaya, Shriman, see the Hrisvanta, Shriman, Arya, etc. And Manye, Arye, Mataha, Bhagini in feminine are all used for addressing men and women respectively. Okay. Whereas this he, boho, etc. don't have any lingatva attached to them. Aye, ayi, are, re can apply to male, female thing, no problem. But Manya, Mahodaya, Shriman, Arya, these are all Sambodhana versions of other nouns only. So we prefix them also. Manya, Govinda, like that. Okay. And then feminine versions also been shown. All right. The vocative singular form differs from the nominative singular. Means it's not having the same sound as in Prathama Vibhakti, especially for it's only for Ekavachana anyway. The dual and plural forms in vocative and nominative are the same. So there is no distinction for dual and plural. So Hey Rama Lakshmana only. There is nothing unique. Same thing in Prathama Vibhakti. In fact, same thing in Dvitiya Vibhakti and same thing in Sambodhana Dvitiya also. So Hey Rama Lakshmana, Hey Rama Site, like Sita Site, correct. Hey Rama Site, like that. Okay. Given below are a few forms in vocative singular. So Akaranta Pullinge Rama iti, Akaranta Strilinge Rame So Rama becomes Rame iti. Ikaranta, hrasva ikaranta pullinge hare iti. Harihi shabda, hari shabda, hare iti. Important. Then mati, mate. Then guru, guro. Nandini, Nandini. Ikaranta becomes Nandini, hrasva. Okay. Then Dhenuhu becomes Dheno. Like that. So like Guru. Okay. So few important things they have listed. So we will take a break at this point and start with the Abhyasa next. Okay. So take a small water break. We'll gather back at 12:08. I also need the break. Okay, welcome back. So now is the Abhyasa. Obviously, quickly when we are still strong with what we have learned, it's good to practice some. So let's, I think it's fairly straightforward and easy. We can crowdsource. A few of you who are into can vocally participate. Others, please practice in your respective places. No problem. A clue about what is found in what is given. Make sentences with those words using the hint. So pushpam lata. So vrikshaha mala mastakam kandolaha. So this pushpam is found in all these places, right? Lata, whatever, how we say, we have to practice that. So one they have given, latayam asti. And then vriksha, mala, mastakam, kandola. What is the variation? Vriksha is a tree, Mala is a hara, or what we call garland. Mastakam is head, or actually mastakam is more for the hairy portion of the head. Then Kandolaha is like a bowl. Okay, so these are all the places where Pushpam is found, right? Generally. So let us practice this. Pushpam Latayam asti, they have given. Next one, Vrikshaha, how do you say?
Vrikshe.
Vrikshe asti.
Vrikshe asti. Well done. Pullinga, Akaranta Pullinga. So Vrikshe, Rame. What? Pushpam, Mala, how do we decline?
Malayam.
Malayam.
Malayam, Sitayam, Latayam, Malayam. Latayam is already there, so Mala was very easy. Strilinga. Okay, this annotation that I am showing is important. In fact, I should go on and do dot 7.1 technically, but we are doing everything 7.1, 7. Generally, some variation maybe. Okay, so we know it is already ekavachana, bahuvachana, so I didn't bother. Okay, Pushpam dash asti mastakam.
Mastake.
Mastake. So Napumsakalinga also goes like Pullinga Akaranta. So Mastake asti. So Pushpam is there in on the head of this beautiful lady here. She has in her hand, on her head, in the garden, only Kandola and Vriksha are missing in the picture. She's covering all the, in fact, even on her dress. So how do we say dress in Sanskritam? Vastram, like, so how do we
Vastram.
say? Vastre asti. Pushpani vastre santi. Okay. Mastishke santi. Haste asti. Huh? Vatikayam asanti. Pushpani vatikayam latasu santi. In the latas, the pushpas are there. So double saptami. So every picture is an opportunity to practice. Huh? Hmm. So Yesha Sundari Kutra Asti.
Vatikayam.
Vatikayam asti.
Vatikayam Asti. Bahu samyak. Okay. So now another of few more of that type. So now it is shlokaha. So Gita, Grantaha, Ramayanam, Natakam, Natika. What is the difference between Natakam and Natika? Natakam may be a generic play which is a decent size. Natika is a teeny tiny one. Okay, quick one. Yeah, that's why the beautiful tika technique is there, and the stritva has been brought in to indicate the diminutive nature which is available only in stritva. Okay, so Gita goes to Gitayam, Shlokaha Gitayam Santi. So now, though the objects are in plural, the location need not be in plural, but you could in some places pluralize it also. So we are going to where it is available. There is generally many types of Gitas. We know only Bhagavad Gita, but there are many Gitas which contain shloka, right? So we could make it plural also, potentially all of them. So you guys are going to try that also. Okay. So you do ekavachana and then bahuvachana and tell me shlokaha grantaha and then santi.
Granteshu.
Grante granteshu. Well done. Okay. So I did not do kandole. I'm sorry. Doesn't matter. So granthe grantheshu. But I have only shown grante here. Then next is Ramayanam.
Ramayane.
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 Ramayaneshu.
Ramayaneshu. Again, we can take the plurality of Ramayana because there are different Ramayanas. There is Tulsi Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, etc., etc., like that. Then Shlokaha dash santi natakam.
Natake. Natakeshu.
Natake. Natakeshu.
Natakeshu. Well done, guys. Sorry. Natika.
Natikayam. Natikashu.
Kayesu.
Somebody said
Natikayai.
Natikayeshu. Somebody made it Natikashu. What is the final form?
Natikayai.
No.
Natikasu.
Natikaya is another vibhakti bhagini. Natikasu. Okay.
Okay.
Natikayam, natikasu. Well done. Okay. So this janaha, people. Good. We have every nationality covered. Arabic, Mexican. Okay. I don't know. I can't place this guy, but Mexican, apparently an Indian, looks like a Moroccan and a Britisher. Janaha, Karyakramaha. Karyalayah, Grihani, Sabaha, Vityah. Okay, so here deliberately plural. So let us just attempt the plural. Then if you have the time, you can attempt the singular also. So Janaha Karyakrameshu Bhavanti. Janaha Karyalayah.
कार्यालयेषु
Karyalayeshu. Then Ekavachane
कार्यालये
Karyalaye. Okay, both fit. Location can be singular, people can be multiple, no problem. So Janaha Karyalayeshu Bhavanti. Karyalaye Bhavanti. Janaha Grihani.
गृहे गृहेषु
Griheshu Grihe. Correct. Griheshu Grihe. We are just going in the other order, no problem. So Griheshu amongst the houses. Okay, or in the houses, and in the house Grihe. Well done. So Griham iti napumsake. Astu. Janaha dash Sabaha.
Sabhashu. Sabhasu.
Sabasu. Strilinga Sakara is dominating. Okay, Sabasu. And then
Sabhayam.
सभायां
Sabayam. Well done. Sabayam
Sabhayam.
and Sabasu. Okay, Janaha Sabasu Bhavanti. String. Then last one is Vityaha.
Vityeshu.
Vithishu, I think. Vithishu is how I remember. But anyway, I am also not very confident there. Vithishu is how I remember. Let us check. Vithishu. I am also wrong. I was half
Vithishu.
right. That's all. Vithishu.
Vithi.
Rasva.
Vithishu.
Vithishu. Difficult one. Okay. So Vithi Shabdaha.
Vithishu.
Ikaranta Strilinga Vithi Shabdaha. Okay. How was it earlier in the table? Ikaranta Strilinga.
Becomes short.
We don't have a Dirga Ikaranta Strilinga in the table. Here we have Nadyam Nadishu, but Vithishu comes. I have to check whether I have it right there. Okay, because there is Nadishu. Okay, I will mark it down as something that I have to check, or maybe quick. We have our beautiful ashtadhyayi.com. Hopefully the Vithi Shabda is declined there. Shabda Pataha. Vithi. No, not there. Okay, I'll check it offline. Take it with a pinch of salt. It may be Vithishu or Vithishu. Or maybe it's there in the textbook also. We can check it. Okay. All right. Then Aksharani, Shlokaha, Vakyani, Padani, Phalakani, that is actually boards. Okay, and then Kataha. So several Napumsakas and one three word is there. So Shlokaha is also Pullinga is also there. They have already given answer for Shloka, Shlokeshu, and then it would have been Shloke in Ekavachana, Shlokeshu in Bahuvachana. So now Aksharani, Vakyani. How do you go?
Vakyeshu.
Vakyeshu, and then
Vakye.
Vakye. Well done, Maria. Vakyeshu and Vakye. Okay. And then Padani.
Padeshu.
Pade
Padeshu.
and
Pade.
Pade. Well done. You guys got it. Akaranta Pullinga and Napumsakalinga are like cakewalks. Padeshu and Pade. Okay. Then Padani aitu. Okay, sorry. Palakani.
Halakeshu. Halake.
Phalakeshu Phalake. Well done. So on many boards and upon one board. Okay. Then Kathaha.
Kathasu. Kathasu. Kathayam.
Well done. Kathayam and Kathasu are in the other way. Kathasu, Kathayam. Kathasu is the expected answer, of course, for this prototype. Well done, guys. We are only confused about this, which has quite distinct form. So, Vithi Shabdah, Vithishu iti asti. Pashyamah. Pustake kimasti. This is the 10th lesson. Better to cross check now. We will never get a chance again. नवमः दशमः पाठः वीथीषु I have it wrong, so let me correct it off. So nadishu was correct prototype. Okay. Good to stand corrected. Oh, why did I park it? Okay. So we have finished with this exercise. We have some more to try now. Write down the correct vocative case form in blanks, in the blanks. Prathama. So now it is a Sambodhana exercise. Very easy. So Rama, Rama iti bhavati. And they have given 3 prototypes. Rama, Rama. This is how we say in Kannada. Actually, in Kannada, we make it Ramya like that. In most local languages, especially southern languages, it's too colorful. Okay. So unfortunately, Sanskrit has a little more simple form. In our South languages, the Sambodhana is very colorful. I'm sure in Marathi also I have heard things like that. So I don't know about North much. Okay, but so Rama finally is the form in thing. So in Sanskrit, if you want to stretch the name during hailing, no, sometimes we have to stretch the name so that the tone is crossing the field and reaching the person. So you make the dirgha very long. It's called pluta. We make it pluta. Rama like that. But in Kannada we go Rama like that. Or Ramya like that. Okay, stretching. But in Sanskrit, it's very straightforward. Rama, like that. So we have to do Hey Rama, like that. Okay, Harihi. Which one is the correct one?
Hare.
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 Hare. Well done. Not Hari, not Harau. Hare. Harau is Saptami. Matihi.
Mate.
Mate.
Mate. Well done. Hey, Mate. Like that. Like Guruhu.
Guru.
Guru.
Gurau.
Guro. Not Gurau is Saptami.
Guru.
Guru is not the correct form. It's just the Pratipadika. Guro is the Pratama Ekavachana Sambodhana. Guro. Hey Guro. Okay. Hey, there is actually a verse with all the declensions of Guru Shabda. Mama Pahi Guru, Mama, something like that. I forgotten now. Okay. Kamadenuhu.
Kamadeno. Deno.
Kamadeno. Well done. Deno. Like that. Okay. Bhagini.
Bhagini.
It's long.
Bhagini.
Bhagini.
Hrasva
Bhagini.
Bhagini. Okay, not
Bhagini.
Bhagine, not
Bhagini.
Bhagini. It is Bhagini. Okay, we accent the Hrasva sometimes. Hey, Bhagini, like that. Okay, we press the Hrasva Ikaranta also. Mala,
Male.
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 Male, easy one. Okay, hey Male, hey Site, hey Rame. So, hey Male. Okay, well done, guys. That was easy. That is done and dusted. Looks here, huh? This lady is calling the husband with a megaphone because he's always ignoring her, I guess. And this kid is scared when the teacher points to her. Hey, you answer the question. Okay, write down yes or no against the following statements. Late conjugation is found only in Vedas. What do you guys think?
Yes.
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 Yeah,
Yes.
it is distinctly found only in Vedas. We don't generally even have complete knowledge of all the forms. Okay, that's fine. Roots are divided into 11 classifications.
No.
And no. No.
No.
This is a dicey question, guys. So what I would do when the question is dicey like this, because you can say yes, you can say no. Because in Loka there is 10 due to Vidhi expansion. If you compress the Vidhi and include late also, we say 10. Generally, we go with 10, guys. So say 10. So that's why we say no. But what you do, if this question comes, put a sentence explanation. Then even if you say yes and then explain, people will still score you. Okay, because you have identified including late, including Vidhi as 2 splits with Ashirling and Vidhi like that. Then be distinctly explaining what you have answered. So I have put no 10, but I should really put explanation. If you consider late, then consider Vidhi as 1. Or if you don't consider late and consider Vidhi as 2, then 10 is the correct answer like that. Okay, there are 3 conjugations in the past tense.
Yes.
yes. Yes.
Okay, because there are 3 past tense kalas. What are they? Anadyatana bhuta
Adyatana
kala,
bhut.
samanya bhuta kala,
Paroksh.
paroksha bhuta kala.
Paroksh.
problem. Do you remember the Lakara versions?
Anatyatana.
Okay, that one is a little tougher. What are the three past tense Lakaras? Lung we know. You remember
Lung.
what was famous one of Valmiki? Lit. Correct. Lung, lit. So what is left?
Root. Root.
Lot. Very good. Okay, yes.
Lung.
Adyatana is for the period from morning to evening. Do you agree?
Yes.
No,
Anadyatana.
no,
Yes.
no, no, no,
No.
no, no, no. Morning to
Anadyatana.
evening is only 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. No. So, Adyatana is from yesterday midnight to today midnight. It goes beyond, behind morning and much after evening. So, of course, some people call 12 o'clock midnight as evening. I'm not talking about the modern youth. Okay. Just us people will call late night as not evening. So, Adyatana is not from morning to evening. It is from yesterday midnight to today midnight. So no, and you say this 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. like that you say. Okay, all right. The suffix denoting the classification of roots is called Vikarana pratyaya.
Sir, I had one doubt here. See, normally I had read a book on astrology where it said that in India, the day starts from sunrise and ends on the sunrise of the next day, not 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. like in Western world. So that is what the day in India
Okay,
is, from
okay,
sunrise to
okay,
sunrise.
okay, okay. But some people wake up at 3 a.m. because it's a Shubha Muhurta, 3:30, something like the Brahmi
Yes.
Muhurta. So for them, the Adyatana extends closer to midnight, right?
Yes.
So there you go. So there is no dispute for 12 a.m. to 12 a.m.
Yeah, that is universally accepted now.
That's why Samskrita Bharati settled with that, so that none of us fight. The suffix denoting the classification of roots is called Vikarana pratyaya. Guys, yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, that's all I got. Okay, yes, it is. Because that is the reason why we do Gana Vyavastha. All right, so I'll mute everyone now. How are we doing on time? We do have time. So it's time to invite Vasuki Varye has kept her hand up unrelentingly, and I'm ignoring that so long. So it's time to not ignore
No,
it
no, I
anymore.
think it was my error, sir. But otherwise, no issues. I will speak.
Okay. So let us give a chance to Balwant Varya, who makes what you call surprise appearance. Balwant Varya,
Okay, sir.
you are our Sunday student, Sunday morning student.
Okay. No, I am coming on Saturdays and Sundays now. Last from lesson number 5, I have been regular.
Oh, so nice, Mahodaya. Sorry.
Okay.
I should get you involved more. You are
In fact,
having
today
the letter B, so you
attend
have the
school.
advantage of coming up on the list quite often. So
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you go, sir. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like that you have to read. Okay, and then as you
Yes.
do, I will unravel my animation for us.
Okay, sir. व्यावहारिक शब्दाः शाकानि शाकाः.
See, this shaka is a pratipadika that is used in napumsaka and pullinga also. So some shabdas have this kind of nature. Okay, they have forms in pullinga and napumsaka. Okay, so shakani, shakaha. Shaka means vegetable. Okay, generally extends to some fruits, but generally it means vegetables. Greens and vegetables is shaka. Okay, shakahari, as we know, no? So it's vegetable. So yes, Maria.
1. निष्पावः beans. 2. खण्डः piece. कुष्माण्डकः ash gourd. पटोलः snake gourd. सुरणः a succulent root.
Actually, we call it the elephant foot, no? Elephant foot yam. So, in fact, in South we call it Suvarna Gedde. In Kannada, at least, we call it Suvarna Gedde. So, this Suranaha is close to that Suvarna derivation of Suvarna only. It is having the most beautiful golden color, guys, and much neglected root. Okay, if you make it's difficult to slice off the top. It's very hardy on the outside, but the inside one you can just do light oil roast on a tawa and makes for wonderful eats. It doesn't even need anything other than a tinge of salt topping, okay, to bring out its quality. You don't even need to struggle hard to eat this vegetable. It makes a wonderful, similar to how potato roasts nicely into French fries. This guy is very friendly for similar treatment and eating with joy. Suranaha, succulent root, very important nutrients it carries, much ignored. Kerala and Karnataka, very popular. Tamil Nadu, these places use it a lot. I don't know about North at all, they use it, but I've generally seen it in South. Okay. Sorry for the whole big intervention because I love that. I had to continue, sir.
Shigruhu, drumstick. Palanduhu, onion. Marichika, chilies. Koshataki, ridge gourd. Kadali, plantain.
Green banana. We use it generally. This kadali as a shaka, as a fruit. Of course, kadali phalam is there, but there is a variety of kadali that is very distinct to India, which is used for vegetables and making chips and all that. Right? That is what is referred here. Plantain kadali. Though what I have shown is more fruity like, but you know the dark green version. South में तो बहुत popular है ये. Yes, continue, sir.
Shunthi, ginger. Shakah, vegetable. Vruttak, Vruttakam, brinjal.
Vrintakam.
Vruntakam, brinjal. Moolakam, radish. Karavelakam, bitter gourd.
Karavellam, no kakara.
Karavel,
Karavellam.
Karavellam, bitter gourd. Bimbafalam, a kind of tree fruit.
Actually, the reference to tree fruit is slightly inaccurate here. Actually, it is a vine that depends on another tree and grows. So, or you make a jali and grow it. North Indians very popular, right? Oh, I forgot the Hindi name you use for this small, tiny, beautiful fruits. What are the beautiful vegetable? What is that?
Tondali. Tondali.
That is South Indian name. Tondakai, we call it Tondakai. In Hindi,
Tondali.
Tondali only. Okay,
Tundli.
okay.
Tundli.
Tondali.
Tundli. You get it.
Tindli also they call it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Tindli. So it is very good.
Turai and Tinda.
Oh, in Bengali you call it Turai, yeah?
No. In UP and Bihar.
UP and Bihar you call it Turai. Okay.
In Bengal, they call it Jhinge.
My God, what a name, Jhinge. India is so colorful. But it is a lovely
Yes, sir. In
vegetable.
Gujarati it is called tindoda. In Gujarati it is called tindoda.
Tindoda. So the tinda is the common we can take from that because Tondekai, Tindoda, all of them. But Bengalis always have to go independent, so they have something very strange.
No, sir.
Okay, no problem. That's a good fruit. Bimba phalam, beautiful name in Samskrita. Bimba phalam. Okay.
It is also called kundru.
Kundru. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yes.
Mm.
So little gourd in English.
Little gourd,
Sir,
huh?
in English, gourd.
Little gourd. Yeah, that's a nice name. So maybe this
It's
Bimba,
English
Bimba
has a very
actually
generic.
in Sanskritam, Bimba means small, tiny doll-like thing. So I think that applies to that little gourd nicely. Okay. So
Okay.
continue, Mahodaya.
Vastukam, a type of green leaf.
This is the Amaranthus, guys. Okay. Amaranthus Rajgira is very important grain sasya in north. If you go to Himalaya regions, they cannot grow rice, wheat, and all that. But this Rajgira grows very happily there. They have very distinct, very intensely purple Rajgira plantation there. So this in South we call it the most important soppu. We call it Dantina soppu. That one is Rajgira. Okay, we use mostly green variety. Of course, purplish tinges are there in South also. But in North, they let it mature, especially in the hilly regions. They let it mature, and the grains of that Rajgira is called Halev in Maharashtra. It is used as a uh, it's as a grain that is used when you are not allowed to take normal carbohydrate grains. You cannot take rice or wheat. Then Rajgira is used to make very light dinner and have it as a break day. Okay, so that's a very important grain also. But of course, in South we use it as a green leaf also. Okay, Vastukam. Okay, so Amaranthus is the classical name. Continue, Maria.
Sir, is that the same as
Not
the
called
laddus we get?
cholai.
Laddus in cities we get.
Haliv
They're
laddus. Yeah,
very light.
very
It's very
light. Yeah,
okay.
very light
Cholai.
and very eatable. Yes, that one. That one. Of course, that is by by what you call by dry frying it. It'll pop into small popcorn, tiny popcorns. That is that you make the undis in that. Yes. Next one, Maria.
Urvarukam, cucumber.
Cucumber. See this one, there is a famous verse on Shiva, no? If you go to Kedarnath, you will keep hearing it 24/7. Urvarukamiva bandhanat mukshi, something. So release me from this life. Give me moksha, like the way we cut off the cucumber from its binding to the plant, like that. So Urvarukam has become very divine word in that stotra.
Trayambakam yajamahe.
Triambakam yaja, Triambakam na, Triambakam. Triambakam yajamahe. And then Bhagini, if you can sing it now. Do you remember the whole verse?
I think we it is there in our book.
Oh, it was there in our book, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's there.
Okay, you continue, Varya. We will take the singing another time. Continue, Varya.
Bindi nakam, lady's finger. Alukam, potato. Amratkam, hog plum.
Amratakam.
Mishtal,
Amratakam.
Amratakam.
Hog plum.
Mishtalukam.
By the way, just a pause. There is a version of Amratakam. This is, of course, a bigger fruit than what we know. There is a version, I think it is also Amratakam. We use in South, maybe that's what it is. This guy makes excellent pickle. Okay, right now in our house, we pickled this because one of our neighbor has this plant. It's a small tree that gives this small, very beautifully bitter and bitter sour fruits. Okay, and makes beautiful pickle. Just like you make with amla, you can make with this hog plum also. Along with mango, you can combine this with raw mango and hog plum and make beautiful pickle. Okay, again, it is one of those that is so neglected but so wonderful. Okay, yeah, continue, sir.
Mishtalukam, sweet potato. Haritkam, green leaves. Jambiram, lemon. Narikelam, coconut fruit.
Coconut fruit, narikelam, yeah.
Krishna nimbam, curry leaves. Gunjanakam,
Grinjanakam.
Grinjanakam, carrot. Lashunam, garlic.
Lashunam. Okay, so very good spectrum. I enjoy reading such tables, and also we can relive a little bit of our traditions also when we see some of these rarer ones like this Amratakam. Okay, see this Amratakam has this little bit of Amra also in it. It shows that it is also having just like raw mango some nature. Okay, so that's why it's nice names. Some of the names are nice. Some of them are simple yogika shabdas. Like for example, we saw here somewhere Mishtalukam. See, Mishta means sweet and Alukam means similar to that Alu. So Mishtalukam, nice construction for sweet potato. It's let's say yogika shabda, simple. Some of them are very distinct Indian names, no doubt at all. Okay. So thanks for reading it, Varya. So we enjoyed that very much. So what I will as quickly do is just for pronunciation practice, I'll just read them once and then we can call it a day today, I think. Nishpavaha, Khandaha, Kushmandakaha, Patolaha, Suranaha, Shigruhu, Palanduhu, Marichika, Koshataki, Kadali, Shunthi, Shakaha, Vrintakam, Mulakam, Karavellam, Bimbapalam, Vastukam, Urvarukam, Vindinakam. Actually, I should correct. Urvarukam, Vindinakam, Alukam, Amratakam, Mishtalukam, Haritakam, Jambiram, Narikelam. Sorry, Narikelam. No, Narikelam. Krishna Nimbam. Nimbam is used for neem. So Krishna Nimbam for curry leaves. Okay. Grinjanakam. Lashunam. Beautiful. Okay. So I think Hindi carries this garlic lashunam sense. I think they call it lasoon. Lasoon. So that is there in Hindi still in its almost in its original form. Interesting. So thanks. With that, we will call it a break. Let us begin the afternoon with this lovely Prahelika. Okay. So take a nice lunch break. Gather back in good numbers for our afternoon session. Okay. Where we will do an hour of continued study in this chapter. Hopefully keep going closer to its end. But if a little remains, we can cover it next Saturday along with a grammar revision. And maybe next Sunday will be our question paper review and close out from that point. Okay. So take a nice lunch break, guys, and gather back at 3 p.m. sharp. And let's continue our learning. Have a nice afternoon and a break before you come back for Samskrit. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.